Greetings, welcome to Channel 6. It's berry picking time. I'm starting in my yard, and I know the announce won't go out. Any of you pick this up quick, I don't know if you're already around. But this is what I see every morning when I leave. I might make this one the one I upload to YouTube. My cat's already out here with me. I have a possible... we got catty cam already. Somebody put cat in the chat. Exclamation cat, one of my mods. I might do it later. We got the catty girl. I'll do it now. I'm going to check up on myself while I'm here at the house. See if I'm live. Wow, it catches up. It doesn't say I'm live yet. Oh, maybe it does. Oh, I have to set this down. My tea bottle is hot for some reason. Cat. There's catty cam. There's the catty. Does Twitch admit that I'm live? Yeah, Twitch admits I'm live. With a dorky thing. Alright, catty. This is what I see every morning when I leave. I've got to, at some point, I know it's not up real high out of respect for my neighbors. I'm going to, just the ground path, as it were. I can actually kind of head straight out. I know we got a little bounce. My gig isn't perfect yet. I hadn't tightened it all the way. There we go. You see on my left, the field has been cut. Might be your right, I'm not sure. Stream Elements doesn't reverse. I think OBS does on the desktop. I can take a little shortcut. This might be my upload to YouTube. I've got an idea to keep the camera cool. It was 70 degrees on the porch. So, this is berry picking, just headed out. I started at 10:45 or so. At least that's when I started the stream up. We're going quick with this one. I'll check the gigging later. The deer have already been in here. There's a little bit of hay they left. If the stream dies, well, I won't get to as a bird overhead. I won't get to do a complete. I'd like to do a complete thing. I know the battery pack's up to it. I don't know if the camera can take the heat, because it might warm up. Right now it's perfect. It's probably about 72, 73 degrees. We're going to run by these patches, but I'm not stopping here. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, last berry picking day, Saturday is my day off. I went up on top of the hill and had a great day. I picked 8 containers. I froze 6.5 of them. I've already gotten 8.5 containers froze. So that's pretty good. It's a good start for basically what amounts to 2 days of picking. 4 days ago when I picked... 4 days ago I picked 4 containers. I picked 1 container, 4 container, and 8 container. The 1 container is not really, I didn't freeze any of that because it's 1 container. I just ate it. Oh, these big, beautiful raspberries. They're called black raspberries. They're awesome. I'm going to save these so I can pop over here tomorrow on my afternoon break, my evening break, and get some maybe. If I'm out early enough, if I take a break at 8, there's actually enough sunlight. I'm guessing because tomorrow I actually have to go do a couple things before the afternoon stream. I might do a morning Jeep stream as I go out to run. I'm not going to do running. The rig's not up to that. We'll go this way. There's actually some berry bushes in here. I'm not sure which of the patches we're going to pick in on the way, because I'm going out to the big sometimes they have an odd taste, and I got itchy burrs in my shirt. I'm going out to the big patch, and what I'm going to do is actually see if there's somewhere in the shade I can hang the camera and just point it at the berry patch and take the rig off. And you can just sit there with a relative stable view, because the wind can still blow it. I've got my other hanging rig now, and I'll probably pick a little bit before I do that. Once I get to the main area where I'm just going to be standing there around one bush, I'll get to see how the bushes are loaded, and I want to pop up into this patch. These early days, I like to see how the patches are doing. And there's one up here. Oh, the deer is this the way up? The deer had a little nap right here. Oh, this goes up to the patch. It's not the way in. Oh, this patch is kind of got some ripe berries too. I'll leave some for the deer. I'm eating some on the way. I went into my patch Saturday and it's like somebody's already picked some. And I could see, tracks where a human had been in. Then I realized it was me 2 days before. 4 days ago, I picked some. This is a smaller patch. It can bear pretty well if it grows nice, but it always seems to get clobbered a little bit. Maybe the deer going through it. If you showed up while I'm on my initial walk here, welcome to Channel 6. This is berry picking. I don't have any kind of audio announcement or anything. In fact, I think I've got the phone audio down to buzz or off. I do that when I'm filming at night, when I'm streaming, because if I have it plugged in to use it as a droid cam, it'll actually project its audio onto the main system. I don't know how it does that when it can't do the droid cam mic, but it can do phone audio somehow. That might only be plugged in direct USB, because I do copy stuff off of it. We're at my first break area. I'm going to check things here. It's going to be a warmer day today. Saturday was cloudy. It was cool. It rained a little bit, which made it even cooler. Rain is always nice, and I didn't remember to bring the pouch for the phone. I got a pouch with watermelon in it. I tied one of the little half sandwich bags, and it didn't work. It's not big enough for the phone might fit in it, but not the phone case. And I need the phone case because I drop it all the time, and it's one of the protective ones. Yeah, I don't have chat up. Look at the leaves. I'm going to bring chat up. I didn't do that. Bonnie McBotterson. Well, at least people know I'm live. It takes me a while to get out. I don't want to pause. This is my pause spot, but I don't want to pause here too long. I'm just gigging seeing if the camera's gigged right. It doesn't quite look right. Okay, we'll call that good. Some people will show up. It has a viewer count, but it's not accurate. Because I've had people raid and it still says 0. On the phone interface, the one in the studio seems to work all right, the desktop. But the phone interface, there's some jinky. What I'd really like to do is be able to bring up the studio, transfer over to on the phone and back to the studio. But I have a feeling if I brought the phone live while the studio was up, it would clobber the stream in the first place. I might try it sometime to see what it does. Hopefully, let me see, I'm on my battery. Yep, battery's good, because if the battery's not good, it's not going to run too long, an hour and a half maybe. I'm hoping to get the whole hike for upload to the YouTube channel as an example of a complete hiking day. One day I think I hiked all the way back. I think I made it. That 1 container day or the 4 container day? No, it wasn't the 4 container day because it cut out. It had to be the 1 container day. I think I made it all the way back. It was almost raining. See, that's the difference, the cool days and the hot days. Oh, wow. Look at these berries. I got to figure out exactly what these are. I believe they're edible. But I need to know first exactly what they are. I'm going to shortcut through the field here just because it's easier to get over here. Oh, yeah, I just realized if I do that, I'm skipping berry patches. Do them on the way back because, oh, groundhog, I don't know if you saw it. He was on the other side of this big tree shadow. He was an orange boy. He's probably gone. I hope you saw that. That's what I'm filming. That's what I'm streaming these for. I'll find out when I get the video. I think it points up high enough to get groundhog boy. They finally cut the field. There's actually some berries down there. Let's go down here. This isn't giving away anything about my neighbors if I just head straight down the hill. And then we'll cruise along the edge. Yeah, they cut the field and it looks like they left a good amount of berries. In fact, we might start picking here. Let's see what's over here. Well, there was a big corner out here, but it looks like it's gotten pretty well clobbered. It got clobbered last year. It has to come back. It's got a little bit. I mean, there's 2 or 3 canes right here. They don't have a lot of fresh berries on them. These are berries I could come pick on my off day. And I think I might save them for that. They thresh the hay before they, I'll start right here, before they harvest it. They cut it, they bring a rake out and they kick it up into a pile and let the sun dry it out a little bit. And then they bale it up from that pile. And it looks like the thresher threw some against the side here that they didn't get. They can't get it all. They leave some out in the field that the baler doesn't pick up. It's laying back there. I walked past it. Ooh. I don't know whether I might want the lid to this. I was thinking about how I could improve this and have a cap over it. Right here over this hole, because that hole is where I stick the berries in. But it can also drop berries out, and that's happened to me a couple times. Trying to fill up containers. It sounds so quiet and peaceful right now. I love this. Hardly any traffic, just the animals and me, the burbs, insects. Traffic's coming. When I was a kid, 4, 4.5 decades ago. Sometimes there'd be afternoons without too much traffic, an occasional car. That was back in the 70s. Now it's almost continuous. Of course, when I was a kid, I could walk down to the corner store down there. It was a gas station. And I could get like a bottle of soda or a little snack. Slim Jim or beef jerky or Atomic Fireball. Them Atomic Fireballs are like 5 cents or something, or 2 cents. You could actually pick pennies up off the ground and go buy stuff as a kid. That was a time. Of course, you didn't get a lot of money from your work if you worked. So I can't say for sure prices were any more reasonable. And there might be stuff buried back in there. In fact, there is, but I'm not pushing in right now. I just started with this little surface. One thing people don't realize, I say an Atomic Fireball costs 5 cents. You probably have to buy like a 20 pack now or something for a couple of bucks. What people don't realize is how much that 5 cents from the 60s or 70s is worth today. That's like a quarter or something. I'm looking at this patch right here to see if there's anything easy to pick. I'm not really too much considering picking these here. I'm just glancing by to see if they're going to have anything later. Yeah, we got rose bush in this one. I'm just doing a surface cut. Actually looks like I can go in back here. Deer hole. Deer trail. And it's more likely that the rose bush was either already here or and the berry bush grew up through it, which is likely what happened, because the birds will eat a berry and they'll land in the rose bush and drop pieces, and then the berry will start growing. Because the rose bushes are good protection for the birds. Stuff can't easily get into them. That's my theory anyways, why so many berry patches pop up near these wild rose bush patches. This is just some light entry picking before I get to the main patch. It's cool in the shade, I like that. It's kind of warm in the sun already. I think today's going to be a heat problem for the camera again. I'm hoping my plan to hang it in the shade works. Ooh, well, there's a lot of berries right in here. There's a lot of rose bush too. You can see on this guy, I don't know, I'll point them out. These things, I can't tell if it's in the camera. These things, there's a lot of them and they look pretty nasty. Here, we'll just cut this piece. There's a reason I call this living barbed wire, and this is it. And these things point down, so when you're pulling back past it, that's when they catch you. And that's the main reason I don't like this stuff in my berry patches, because it will hurt you. It will hurt you significantly. Man, I hardly hear any traffic at all today. Just out here in the field even, where you can really hear it still. It's not blocked off by a lot of trees coming from the main road. And it is Monday. Some Sunday evenings, there's not much traffic. It was pretty nice last night. I was outside before my Quake Edit session, just sitting there on the bench. And I decided to sit there an extra 5 minutes, just because it was quiet. Got provided a quiet moment. I see a lightning bug eating a berry. I'll leave him his berry. I think he fell off. Another thing is growing along. This is how we used to pick back in the day. Along the edge of the field was the only place they grew. And this little bit would be all you got in this area. Of course, there's a good bit of berries here. I'm basically picking breakfast for today. I have watermelon chunks, some strawberries. I forgot to grab the date chopped dates again in the bottom of the one can. I keep forgetting they're there. But I got plenty of berries, so I'll be great. The birds are happy singing. One nice thing I like about this picking bottle, this storage, versus the bag I used to use, it doesn't get caught on the bushes. It doesn't catch on anything. It just droop. I'm not hooking it into the rig yet. I'm just holding it for now. A little bit of warm-up picking here. And then we'll go up to the main spot and see what's what. There's a good bit along here I see growing up. That's just, it spreads. From the animals eating the berries and the deer shitting them out or the bird dropping pieces. But this rose bush has also spread pretty good. And you can see where I've cut this stuff off in the past. I might come along here one day. I'm going to hike around after a couple days after picking season, when it starts to cool off in September. Because August, I think I'm going to do a good bit of streaming. Take a break from the hot weather. I don't hike as much. Just like the winter time, I might hike once a week. Oh, there's some beautiful berries here. I might hike once a week in the winter. If there's a nice day up above 50, I'll hike. But I think come September, I'm going to take a couple hike days. Maybe 2 or 3, and come out here and cut this rose bush down to the ground. Only thing is, in the springtime, it's going to start growing again. And by the time I get to berry picking, it might be this big. But at least it won't become an uncompromising blob that I can't get through at all without, many hours, like 3-4 trips out here to cut it out. Because it'll get like that. It'll get into a big chunk of stuff you can't go through. I'd like some of that along the other edge where they like to drive the machinery in to make deer trails and then bust through berry patches. Because they can't drive through a big clump of rose bush unless they got something that really protects them. They're not going through on a four-wheeler ATV. They might go through with a truck or a tractor, bulldozer, one of them little mini bulldozers, but they're not taking a little ATV in there through a major rose bush. But in my berry patches where I have to go in, I'm cutting it out because I can't go through it either. And all I have is me. All I have is my flesh. There's bushes down in here. It looks like they died out. I see a lot of rose bush. I don't see. Oh, they're back in there. Hey, look at this. They've got a good amount of defense here. They're down in here. There's a big one. They're not as much. It's not. I'm eating the big one. Here's the big one. I'm eating this. They're not as much as they were in years past. I gotta watch this rose bush. And there's new raspberries coming up too. But the thing is, well, this patch has a good chunk of shade now because this tree has gotten out. But the patch can come back. It grows up from the root. It can bring itself back in the future. And there's some growing over here. They move around. Birds drop the berries. I drop the berries. The deer eat them and shit them out and fertilized. And they change. There's some up here too. I see they didn't go back all the way with the cutter. But it was different. I think it was a different guy cutting. The regular farmers were out doing stuff too. They all baled it together, but I think some different guy cut it. Because they changed their method. Okay. We're into the bottom edge of the big patch. I'm going to do some picking and then have breakfast somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm going to hang the camera where it'll be in the shade. Because if I hung it here, you won't be able to see me, and I just realized that I wanted to bring the Bluetooth so I could talk to you while I had it hung. And I didn't bring the Bluetooth. Well, I guess I'm not doing it that way. When it starts to darken the display, I'll take it and I'll hang it. I think I'll keep you with me until then. This is where it would actually be nice to have a human mod watching so they could welcome people. The bots will welcome you, but that's on a timer. I'm not necessarily going to see. Yeah, I'm going to take this wild rosebush out right here. I'm not necessarily going to see when you show up. And the one day I heard the raid come in, I think I had Bluetooth. I don't have it today. Or the phone dings. I know I heard the announcement noise. It's like, oh, is somebody raiding me? I hear a bunch of dings. And somebody was. Somebody was raiding me. See, one thing you can do with the rose bush is go all the way back to where it starts. And I've already cut this one at the ground. This far in, it's not doing me any defense duties on the edge. It's just in the way of my patch. So I'm cutting it out. Oh, it's going around this berry right here. You don't want to just indiscriminately cut the current berries, even if it looks like they're dead. They got a dead part, because they go back down in the ground and they root. And those roots you really want, because those are future berry patches. This is next year's vine that this rose bush is trying to tear up. I may have bunged it a little. A little bung they'll recover from. Yeah, and I know it's a major pick day now, and I just stopped to get a berry patch out of the edge of this. Or a rose bush out of the edge of this, but let's just say I really don't want it here. See, if you don't pick the berries right away, they rot on the vine. You got maybe 4 or 6 days. When they're fully ripe, you've only got about 4 days left. And then they rot on the vine. And I can tell from the heat, I already feel that the phone's not going to do good today. So at some point, I am going to lay this puppy down, hang it in a bush or a tree in the shade, and just pick. And occasionally come check it, but I'm not going to be constantly talking because I'll be away from it. I'd have to shout at that point. The aliveness. I put a thing in Discord, but it was just like 5 minutes before I started. Of course, I set the title for berry picking last night, so it's not like people couldn't check. Sometimes I'll check other people's channels just to see what their title is. I'll check by. I didn't bother hosting anybody for the morning because I knew I would be out picking right away. There's a lot of berries in this little area here. A lot of them ripen up. See, that's the thing. I didn't pick this area 2 days ago. And I didn't really look in here too much 4 days ago, so they've had time, even though this is just a little side patch, they've had time to really ripen up a few of them. Some of them are already starting to get, I'll pick one right here. I don't know if it's just not a good berry, or it's starting to get, it's starting to go rotty. So this is a good picking start. And you can still eat the partially rotted berries. They're not completely rotted. They're just starting to age. Happens to all of us. At some point we start to age. And I felt like something bit my face. There's bugs that'll nip on you sometimes. So this is a pretty good start. I might get a half a container right here. With this big container, I found out it holds at least 4 little containers, the 24 ounce. This is one thing in the wintertime, you can go around and look at the patches and you can see all the canes. But you can never tell when a cane is going to give you a lot of berries or just a couple. And there'll be an area that I picked last year, like it wasn't this. There'll be an area that I picked, and yeah, I know, boot cam. There'll be an area that I picked, and oh wow, that got messy. That one fell apart. There'll be an area that I picked, like there's a couple of canes over there to my left. Maybe you're right. And they did great 2 years in a row, and then last year, there wasn't hardly anything there. They just kind of conked out. And now, look right here, this thing is boosted up. So, even where the patches grow and the vines are alive from year to year, you don't get the same response. You don't get the same performance. And you gotta check them all. Got to catch them all. You got to check them all. I'm just going to put this. I can go two-hand now. I actually got a beaner and clipped the berry bucket, the catcher, onto my film rig, because I used to wear a bag around my neck. And my neighbor's been telling me for years to use one of these, but I kind of like the bag. It kept it well contained. If I dropped a berry, it went in the bag. I didn't lose it on the ground. Like now, if I drop a berry and it doesn't go into the container, it's gone. It's on the ground. With a bag, as long as I was over the bag opening, I had the berry. They get smushed up if I didn't retrieve them pretty quick because everything bounced around, but I had the berry. Yeah, some of these definitely aged a good bit. That's why there's so many here to pick, because they've been ripening up for a week. And I haven't picked off this vine. But that's okay, I'll pick them now. There's old stuff down at my feet. Well, today it sounds pretty peaceful. It's a good day just to let you listen to nature. When I hang the camera so it's not in the heat, because it's probably already heating up. It's not just that it's in the sun, it's got the display is on. I don't know if you can screen save the display with Stream Elements. I haven't tried, which I probably should sometime with an experiment screen. And then it's running the cell data, so it's running the transceiver. And when I run Droid Cam, and I have them powered off main AC, these things warm up a lot. So it's not just that it's not that warm outside, it's pretty cool out here. But they got internal heating too, so the two combined whack the... And they put sensors, and I meant to go into the developer options, which I enabled for something else, and see if you could turn off the overheat shutdown, and I didn't do it. I might do it on my little meal break here in a bit. As I eat some of these berries, I've already got a good amount of berries. As I eat some of these berries that I pick and my breakfast stuff. What time did I get started? How long? It's already becoming hard to see the screen. It's 11:20. I know I started walking about 10:45. I don't know if there's a stream timer on here. There is. 34 minutes. So I've probably been picking for about 20 minutes already. This isn't a good catch for 20 minutes of picking. But that's okay. When I get up to the main patch, the other 4 days ago when the camera failed, I had one container when it failed, and I picked 3 more. I picked 3 more after that, just in that one patch. So when I get to that patch and I hang the camera, I'm just going to go around and pick like crazy. That patch will be probably buku. It was buku 4 days ago. And I think it'll have berries like crazy. But there's a good amount right here. I'm grabbing. I just grabbed what? 15? 12? Bug in one of them. I dropped one on the ground too. I saw where it went, so I'm going to look down and grab it. Oh, it fell apart. I got it. I got weeds too. It is uber peaceful today. I'm loving it. If you showed up, welcome to Channel 6. I'm your host. This is berry picking. Actually, it's more like the berry bushes are your host. You don't get to see me. You can hear me for a while. As I was saying later, I'm going to hang the camera in the shade because it overheats because of the heating that it's got, and the sun. It's kind of a whammy for it. I'm trying to figure out where this rose bush is coming from. It's in here. I see a rose bush in here. I figured out where it's coming from over there. Follow the stuff down and nip it in the bottom. You don't want to let those, if you can prevent those from getting big, that's good because they'll hurt you. Earlier on the stream I showed off the living barbed wire, the claws they have. They have serious claws. And you stick your hand in and pull back out, they point down. So when you pull out, they grab you and cut. We're talking about rose bushes. I'm talking about rose bushes. I have some viewers I have to be very specific when on certain topics. Last night was a great Quake Edge stream. I'm sitting there editing Quake, and some of my viewers are just having this whole side conversation about video games, which is appropriate since it was a gaming operation. Of course, you can talk about anything you want, but that was pretty cool. It's like occasionally I'd glance over and there were about 30 or 40 lines piled up that I had to look through to see if they asked any questions or said anything I was interested in. Any commentary I wanted to add since it's my stream. Tea ought to be really nice. It was pretty hot this morning when I put the bottle on. It was like, whoa, that's toasty. In the wintertime, if I bring tea, it doesn't stay that hot too long. Okay, good pick in this area. I see some over there I didn't get. This area used to be a good bit different, and it's interesting to come back through. Like, I'll come back around a large patch, and I'll come back around and see stuff that I didn't pick, and it's like, I always think to myself, did that ripen the 4 or 5 hours I was picking? Did that ripen up? Because they ripen up over time, so I think it's possible. I'll just be like, did that ripen or did I miss it? Because you see different perspectives, and I'm stepping on one that's they're on the path. That's kind of an issue too. They grow across the path, and then they get stepped on. And then there's just ones you don't see. The thing is, you have picking paths. These new things grow up like this. They get pretty big, and then they fall down over the paths. And then you don't have a picking path anymore. You got to make a new path. And usually with the way the stuff dies out, there's another path that reveals itself next season. Of course, the first 2 seasons, the patches weren't crazy. I hadn't cleared out a lot of the competitive vines, grapevines, and wild rosebush and blackberry. But after I cleared those out, and with blessings, these patches took off. And now they just grow like crazy, and it's hard to get into places. They really like kind of overload. And I almost need the deer to bumble in some areas so that I can have ways into them, because I don't have a way to get in. Hey, get off my back. Yeah, that guy got me from behind. That vine I just showed you was grabbing the back of my shirt, and you can already see, I don't know if I can get to it, the top of it here is kind of got bunged. Probably maybe me going past. I can actually still see the screen. If you're lurking, thank you. I'm here picking berries. If a raid comes by, I want to see if somebody raids me. I programmed my bot to shout out the raid, since I can't do it while I'm picking, and I won't necessarily have a human mod. I have 3 of them. No, 2 of them now. I'm going to have 3. One's a streamer, so he's probably busy with his own stream. I didn't notice him this morning. I only glanced as I got ready. I wanted to get out here. Because right now, the most important thing for picking is to get out here as early as I can, especially if it's this warm and I'm going to be out here 5 hours. I really need to hop onto it. I can't sit there for an hour on the bench petting the cat and doing that stuff. I can't mess around in the studio. I got to get out here to pick berries. I got berries I can't get to. I can't mess around, so I don't have time to look at things. I set up the command for the bot to shout out. And I might actually have to pass that bot off to another bot with an alias to come back and do the shout out. He may not be able to do his own shout out, because I have to give it as a command. It's a specific command. The bots can give other bots commands. I don't know if they can give themselves commands. I think they might not be able to. So if nobody raids me, I've got a bot user I created when I was trying to make a certain kind of bot. And I think I'm going to try a little raid on myself. I don't know if you can raid with 0 viewers. So what I'll do is watch my own sample bot with my main account. And I'll raid it. I'll raid back to myself. And see if the announcement works. I'll do that in the afternoon stream. I just want to see if it... Because if somebody's raiding me out here, I really want that. There is a berry sitting on a wild grapevine leaf, and I picked it. It fell off, and I grabbed it. It fell off that one I was holding. This wild rosebush here is getting out of hand. They grow from somewhere else, and they come over. And it's coming over into my berry patch. And you like... We shall take steps. Steps might be taken. Wild rose bush. Welcome to the village where we trim our wild roses back. I'm still scrubbing through the prisoner to find where they actually do, where number 2 does the BCing you to number 6, and number 6 pointedly ignores him. Because that's like my point. I think there's some up in here I'm going to go look at. I know I'm kicking around this area a little bit. I need to get up into the main picking area, but there's actually, I don't know if you can see that bunch right there. This is a good pod. There's 6 berries right here. How appropriate, right? I think there's 6. Yeah. I'll eat that odd berry off the other end. Deer made a nest here, I see. I'm walking through wild rosebush. I felt that. You go hiking, it's best to wear heavy pants. Jeans, heavy jeans. I'd even recommend possibly those fire hose pants. One of my fellow stagehands, we wear pants and we do a lot of Marley and stuff. We'd be down on our hands and knees, and your knees and your pants just get torn up like crazy. And he found these pants, probably from Duluth maybe, made out of fire hose material. And he bought them one season because we do a lot of that stuff. We did a lot of ballet. And they have dance Marley down. And they were kind of cool. They were really stiff. It's like, are those comfortable? They look like they might chafe, but I guess they had a liner in them. Then you think they might be hot, but the building was always air conditioned nice. It was always a balmy 68 degrees in there. You'd think the whole thing was like equipment computer room or something with the way they kept it near perfectly air conditioned. A little patch over there, but I don't see any berries. I'm trying to get up to these. There's nothing ripe here. There's some up the path there, but I'm not going to go check them right now. I want to get over into the main area because I'm going to take my little breakfast break. I know sometimes all you see is just a bunch of leaves flickering by. I've actually probably got nearly a container of berries already, but for 40 minutes of picking on a major picking day in the big path, that's not that great. I really want to be able to do a container every 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That way, in 4 hours, I'll have 8 containers. I can go back and I don't have to stay out more. If I can get 2 full containers of this in 4 hours, that'll be good because I did start at 10:45 hiking out. If I can be headed back to 2:45, I'd consider that a bonus. We're actually going to go back around this way to check that one path. Or that one patch. 4 days ago when I was here, I set my stick down and it fell over, and then I moved on, and it's like, oh no, I lost my stick. And like, I'm on stream, and it's like, do I actually go back and look for my stick? Then I was picking berries back close to where I was, and I saw it poking through the weeds where it fell over. And I think my see, this area in the past has had really good berries. This vine here grows these giant juicy ones, but it hasn't been doing so good the last couple of years. It's got a bit. They're not really ripe yet. I think it's getting more shade. I think it's getting shaded out, so it's not doing as much. And the berries ramped up fast this year, gone from 1 container to 4 containers to 8 containers, and I'm wondering when I'm gonna. I tire out at some point. I can do this pretty strongly, but at some point I have to take a break. I get burned out, and I'm wondering like how many days I can do it, because I want to freeze about, I'd say 30 containers at least will take me through. 30 containers will give me a half a container every week for the rest of the year once the berries are out. And I can actually go up through there now. I've got that. There's a little bit back there, but I'm headed... Well, this is a shady area. I might take my break here because I don't know how much shade we have up in the main patch. Let's poke up in there. This actually goes into the patch. It just needs a little healing. That's heal with the double E, H-E-E-L, like heal a dog. I think that's an appropriate use. Oh, whoa. There's a giant rose bush clobbering this part. I mean, it got big. Go back that way. Wow, there's blackberry in here. This stuff is a jungle. That rose bush is trying to bite me too. I'm pretty sure this is the axis. Oh, it grew closed. It is the axis. It got clobbered. This stuff will just grow and grow and grow. Oh, a little bit to poke through, I see. And then these things grow up and grow and grow. The shit grows. Let me put it to you that way. This stuff grows. And I'm just seeing what it's going to take to clear my path here. Because even in the heavy jeans I'm wearing, you cannot simply walk through. One does not simply walk through this mess. You could walk into Morador easier than you could walk through this stuff. I should make 2 commands for chat that I'm thinking about. One is the T command, and I'm not sure what the T command should say. I think a random series of expressions. And the other is the cliche command. Anytime I reuse one of the old tired cliches that I like, I could have the cliche command. Wow. I just want to get over here so I can see up the hill and see if I have some shade. I can put my... Now this is something I threw out from the middle of the patch and it's stuck here. I want to see if... because these old blackberries for a couple of years, the old blackberries and rose bushes are still dangerous even though they're dead until they really desiccate. Wild rose bush desiccates or wild raspberry desiccates in about a year. The rose bush takes a few years. 5 years old, dead, it can be dangerous, especially if it's still connected. And the blackberry's probably a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. Now I just dropped mine. The one place you don't want to drop your nippers is down into a rose bush. You got to reach down into it, and I told you about how the claws point down. It's easy to reach in. Well, it might hurt reaching in. I just want to see, there's a little shady spot over there that's actually in the patch. And now that we're in here, we're going to head there because it's closer to the picking. If I want to pick on that back lane, I'll go back there. I'm actually going through, this rose bush is coming up into the patch. Yeah, I'm thinking that this year, because once the berry picking is done, I don't have a lot out here to stream. It's not nearly as exciting to come out and stream like clipping up wild rose bushes. Oh, this area is another one of those areas. My phone looks crooked. This area is another one of those areas that has just absolutely giant berries. For raspberries, these are huge. And since I discovered them in 2017, I discovered this patch. I've been coming in. This is like 10 berries and it's a handful almost. Well, not one of my hands, but a small person. It would be a handful, like Inde. If it was you, you're probably not lurking. You do your own stream, but you'd have a handful of these berries. So, this shade over here, right ahead, that's where I'm going to take my break, but I'm going to do this pick because these are so good. I've been putting off sneezes and my throat being clogged by pollen. The thing about the rainy days that I love is the rain wets these plants down and the pollen doesn't get stuck in my throat. Maybe a tiny touch. Okay, let's see if I can still see the screen. It's just like it gets into the sunlight. It gets into the sunlight and I can't see it. Oh, you know, if I went to Twitch, I can tell how many lurkers I have. I made a command because this doesn't tell me. Got to make an adjustment. It might go quiet. I had some loud sneezes. And I just realized I'm in the cooler part of the day. I'm picking this exterior part. I'm going to hit the main patch in the heat. I had some sneezing there to do. And those were loud sneezes. I got pollen gubbed up into my nose from all the grass. Probably picking out along the edge of the field. But right here can do it. There's a lot right here. Wow, these giant... And these giant berries, these big ones, fill up a container fast. Like I can just pick half as much here. They're way bigger berries. They're way bigger berries. I don't know why they grow like this here. And they could even be a commercial brand that got wild and just came out here and cross-pollinated or something. Because I feel like that could happen. Okay, grapevine, you're out here. You don't get to do that. Not in my berry patch on my watchy watch. So I'm going to pick some of these. I'm going to pick this little area right here, then I'm going to take my break. I know I've got to bend over to pick, and all you see with the rig on is just my boots or the ground. But half the time, I scrubbed through a video, and half the time all you can see is a leaf in front of the camera. So I don't actually know how exciting berry picking really is as a stream when 50% of the time you're sitting there staring at a grapevine leaf or a berry patch leaf. I don't really know. The people say they're great, so I'll stream them. I was wondering if I was going to just stream a couple, because I don't know when if the data, there's no data cap. I got unlimited data, but after a while they throttle it, and I don't know what the throttle is. Like if I knew the throttle amount, I could probably determine if it was going to affect the stream. I don't think it will, because I'm using like a portion. I'm using a portion. Although I noticed when I went from the Wi-Fi streaming to the cell data that what Stream Elements reports as transmitting has gone up. Like the kbps, it was a pretty consistent 2500, and this goes up around 3800. It pops. And I don't know what the deal with that is. And I've got a locust tree here I'm messing around. I'm moving around. This is a locust tree. They produce a goober of shade when they get up taller. And after the die off of the sumac trees in my up the hill patch, I've kind of decided I might want to prune some trees back, because trees will cut out the sunlight and that'll cut back the berry growth. And I've avoided like major changes out here so far. Just let it go natural. But I might take some of these things out before they get up to being a hazard for the patch. I kind of was given management duties out here, as it were, in this wild garden. Kind of appointed to take the steps I see fit to manage this area, so to speak. Oh, it already killed Stream Elements. You know, I'm about to take my break. I'm going to be in the shade here for a little bit. I'm going to take my break over here in the shade, right over that way, or maybe back here. This is a pretty nice shady spot. I might go up to the same spot. I'm pretty close to it. And I'm going to look through my developer options on the phone while I talk to you. But we're back for now. Like I said, it could die suddenly. And I just went to check the chat. I haven't seen the chat for a while, and I don't know if anybody was in the chat. I don't know when it goes down and you bring it right back up. I don't know how long it was down, if it reconnects you or leaves you connected. Because when I tried to check the user count, it just told me that it wasn't live. I've got my own user count command because I can't trust this phone app to tell me the accurate stuff. I've been doing great berry picking. It looks like I have close to a couple of containers. I've got more than one container anyways. And I saw these big juicy berries that grow back here and thought, hey, I'll go get those. I was just talking about my philosophy session. I was going on about how we torment ourselves, and I don't know if I don't know how much of this was recorded. It was a good. I keep doing this. I get into these good sessions, and my phone dies out here. But humanity definitely has a penchant for self-torment, and I have some pretty interesting opinions on that. I was mentioning that. I don't know what part of this got through, so I don't know how much of it to cover again. But we do torment ourselves about many things. Some people torment themselves about their physicality, about their weight, their appearance. And we aren't, exactly in control of these things. We've kind of, some of us have gone down a path of surgery and modification that doesn't really do much. Because it doesn't change the overall appearance of your body. Although some people go that route where they have major changes, major appearance changes. And it doesn't, if you change the outside, you're not changing the inside. You're not actually fixing what causes that torment in the first place just by body modification. There's a good chance, I can't say for sure because I'm not an expert on these things, you might actually be making it worse. So I take a break up there. I think I've got a pretty good of the big boom of the berries picked in here. And I got my Stream Elements Body Bot Maximilian on the in-home chat, which I could actually record there, is telling me we're live, and I don't see where I came through here. I don't know how I got over here. I think I stepped over these vines here. There's still live berry pickable vines, and there's a new one here, so I missed a berry. I missed 2 berries. You come back the other way and you find out you missed berries. Having long arms also means having long legs. Long legs are also an advantage for berry picking. But I picked this area pretty good. I'm going to see what time it is. I'm going to eat my breakfast. I see that little pieces growing up have gotten clobbered. I'm actually going to try going around this way. There's another way out over here. Let's see if it's open. I cut a new area. There's a walnut tree here. There's some berry vines here. And see, they're being pulled by something they're connected to. I stepped on something and they pulled. Yeah, there's actually an access through here. I see a berry vine. There's a berry on it to pick. Here in the shade. There's actually an access lane here. It's just got big stuff growing up in it. And I don't believe there's anything truly dangerous in here. After I say that, I'm looking. I might have to cut some vines that grew across. Well, a tree fell over. That seems to be my biggest clobberage, this tree. The tree and the vines. Vines will close off your path quicker than anything because they move quick. I'll come out like 4 days later because I generally don't hike all the way out here every day. I'll go close by the close patches, but I'll come back and there'll be vines across my path and it's like, wow, how quick. Oh, this is a real Dr. Livingston, I presume, moment. And I didn't exactly see why Stream Elements got clobbered. I just know that it did. And I see another announcement. I'll check that in a minute. It might just be a bot. My bots are certainly diligent. I got wild rose bush here. I went back through here 4 days ago along this edge. And there's some big juicy berries to pick. Around this edge of this patch, this big juicy berry area is really nice. It's really awesome that these big berries grow back here because they fill up the container so quick. I think the reason I have almost 2 containers is because these berries are so big on some of these vines. They're like twice the size of berries in some other areas. And they ripen up just the same amount off the vine. Not every one of them, but a lot of them. So I got to go through a spoder web. The spoders remake their web like almost every day, so it's okay. They'll just rebuild it. And there's plenty of food out here for the spoders, so they have a good life. In the wild, I think wild creatures have a pretty good life. It's like many of them, most of the time, are well provided for. And one of the times they're not provided for is when humans interfere with their environment. Nature has a balance. If we stay out of it, it stays balanced. He says as he picks berries in the wild. But I try to live in harmony with it. I try. I hope I succeed. I think given my woodland skills that I do a pretty decent job of staying in harmony with it. I'm picking this back area before I take my break because I'm not coming back to it. This is what I did before. I went up the hill here. I went through some of this and I took it's cool up here so the camera can cool down. I've got these big things to pick. This is where I lost my stick. I leaned it over up here. And it's like, where's my stick at? It's actually useful sometime when I'm leaning over certain parts of the patch if I have to lean out really far to lean on it. But other than that, it's just my hiking implement that you just always take a stick. It's just a thing. You may at some chance, like I've never had to do it, but you might have to fend off a wild animal. And when you've got a 4 or 5 foot stick that extends your reach, and you can make yourself look bigger by swinging the stick around. You expand the area of movement around you, and you have a good chance of scaring an animal that way. Now, deer, you don't have to worry. They'll be scared when they hear you, smell you, see you. They'll take off. There are other animals that might be a little bit more energetic about defending their territory. Which specifically, badgers just came to mind for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think there are any badgers around here. But that just popped into my head. And now I'm thinking about the streamer badger. I'm wondering if he's the one that's in Texas. I know one of them I was watching is in Texas. And I haven't caught as many streams. I'm trying to keep up with the streams of the people that I'm close to, that I feel the most kinship with as a streamer just starting out. The people that have influenced me and given me knowledge, I try to stick to their streams and get to see a couple of them. I saw an interesting booth stream a couple days ago. Apparently some stuff was going on with Yogscast that I'm not apprised of, but I got the gist of it, so it was the only gesture I had to make. I sent her my chitin curated list to look at. Hopefully that helped out. People respond very well to chitin, and I know that he's in my life to help me out and to support me and give me strength that I need and show me the way out of the darkness. I know he was put there on purpose. Mostly the way he showed up randomly at just before one of the worst parts of my life. Like, he showed up in 2011 in the summer. And I had just spent a year recovering from a broken wrist. And I was about to go into another hard part. And he showed up, and he won't let another human touch him. He does let now. I notice my mom can touch him when she gives him a snack in the morning, and she gives him wet food 3 times a day with her cat. And when he has the snack, he will actually let her touch him now. But that's taken 5 years for her to get to that point. It took me about 2 months to get to where he would let me touch him. And anybody, I came back from a hike 2 days ago, and I couldn't find him. He was in his deep hidey hole. He's got a hidey hole that's really deep. One of our family friends had come over. A cousin had come over to visit. One of my cousins come over, and Chitin heard him probably talking upstairs through the basement door, and he went and hid because that's what he does. And I'm not liking this, but for some reason my thing has dropped down again. It says I'm live. The orientation's wrong. It says it's transmitting. It's in a weird state. So hopefully I don't have 10 to 15 minutes of poor, improper orientation. And I looked up the Dr. Livingston, I presume, comment I got from Garfield comic back in the 80s. I looked it up. And it's one of his friends encountering him in a jungle setting. We got a groundhog hole here. And he runs into it and he's like, Dr. Livingston, I presume. And I just realized I don't have the lid on my bucket. So it's probably full of dirt. I've got a hanging rig. I need my food. Yeah, dirt's in here. I got my water. We're going to dump these berries into a container. I don't think we'll need more than 2 containers. I'm going to check Twitch and see if I'm live here. Alright, and I don't have the battery pack on either. I've got to actually, let's see what the battery is. 54%, yeah, I unplugged it to jig the phone. Forgot to put it back on. Let's see what Twitch says. It'd be nice to have a live indicator. It says I'm live. I could probably check the announce. It'd be nice if I could just switch between Twitch, Stream Elements, and the home system. I have some shout outs while I'm here streaming. Let's see, I got to get the right order. Queer Hedge Wizard, thank you for following me. Boba Witch, thank you for following me. I am going to make a special bot sequence. I'll put that in. It's going to be Monty Python quotes. Emily, thank you for rating me. Mendicant Monkey, thank you for following. I'm all caught up now. I can actually check the live setting. Check 1, check 2. I'm bamming this both through my live stream though. I'm probably not going to get it. I don't know. It's live though. Check 1. I'm kicking that off. I'm live. Stream Elements gets funny. I don't know what's up with that. And I can feel how warm the phone is, probably with the case and the extra battery and everything. I know you're just looking at my stick, right? Okay, it's my break time. How long have I been picking? 12:11. A little over an hour. I haven't got that much for an hour and a half of picking. That's okay. This point, I'm going to try hanging the phone in the shade, and my talkie-talkie is going to be less. Because I'll be further away, because I have a feeling as I go back out, if I leave it in the rig, I'm going to be overheating it and it'll just shut down. Let's see if I can actually get my, well, it doesn't necessarily do what I want when I hang it in this rig in a tree. This is my little morning break. I probably should have taken it earlier because I would have had, well, listen to that thing. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, it like tinks the way it wants, hanging off the tree, and there's leaves all around. I'm pretty clever with MacGyver things. I've just got to get something to sit the way I want. Oh wow, this really won't do what I want at all. I want it to just hang straight here, and it's like, it's a real, and the camera's here. Let's see if I can clear the camera. What? I'm trying to put my stick behind it to stabilize it, and even that won't help. And now it just did something weird. There we go. Stream Elements back on. It lost orientation. How does that happen? Okay, going back to chat. Okay. Twitch says I'm live, so I'm going with it. Ah, look at this thing in my face. This is challenging, streaming out here. It's in the way. So this is break time. I think I have about 2 containers. That's actually a lot of berries in there. I got 2 containers here. I got my water, I got my tea. I want some water first, it's cold. This is one of those nippled water bottles. I think I might replace it with a regular cap at some point. Everything's dirty that was in my bucket because I didn't remember to put the lid on. This is the tricky part because I don't know where the cap for this container is. And when it gets to a certain point, berries will flop out. I don't want to go too far. Overload the container. That's one container. It's full. I call that full. It'll settle a little bit in the travel. Not that 2 containers for an hour and a half picking isn't, oh, I forgot the hole. Isn't too bad. You can actually go through the hole if you just have a couple berries. You have a lot of berries and won't go through the hole. I dropped a berry. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to eat a couple of them. I found it. Berry recovered. 2 containers. I left about, I started setup at 10:45. I was probably picking at 11. It's 12:15, hour and 15. That's not too bad just for the surface area, because I know once I get over into the middle over there, it's likely I can pick a container in 25, 20 minutes. So 2 containers, another 2 hours would be 6 more containers. And I'm going to hang the phone where you can just watch. I forgot the Bluetooth, so you won't hear me talk. Have to be that way, because it's going to overheat if I keep it on the rig and keep filming that way. It'll just drop out and I won't even know. I thought I had the chat up. Oh. It'd be nice. And why? Reality is vibrating in the camera. I don't know why. The phone's stable. The autofocus doing it? And if the autofocus is doing it, why is it doing it? It's like bonk, 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 bonk. I wonder if it's actually filming that way. I'll find out when I download it. I'm going to stitch these together since it already crapped out. Find out how much of the philosophy lecture I'm missing. I'm only going to take about a 5 or 10 minute break here because I realize I'm sitting on the bucket and I've got berries in a precarious spot. I want my tea because I want 2 more hours. Well, see, it's 12. If I can fill this container up in an hour, 45 minutes, that's 6 containers of berries. Put me at 2:15. That'll be pretty good if I can have 6 more containers by 3. I'll go back. Yesterday I was out till 3:48. Actually, 2:15 would be nice time to stop. I'll have to see what I have at 2:15 in 2 hours. Once I get up to the main patch here. In fact, I'm thinking about skipping this little area and heading up to the main patch, but because yesterday when I picked on top of the hill, I skipped a part. It was 3:40 and I decided to go back. And I left the part up there unpicked for next time, but it's not like the major part. Because the center of the patch over there, I want to pick the whole thing. And there'll be buku berries, and I could actually come back down through this area on the way out. I think I might do that. I might just head straight in. In fact, I might go up the hill and do it because it's easier than going through this. I'll figure out where I'm going to hang the camera in the shade. I have a pretty good area where I might be able to hang it where you can see most of my picking in the patch. And it's still blinking, and I don't think the camera's moving. It just looks like the background's vibrating. I actually realized I've had a container of blueberries for days, and I brought them with me finally to eat. Like, wait, I have blueberries that are sitting in a fridge. These fresh raspberries are really the best. I've never eaten anything yet that's given me the same kind of energy level and the same good feeling, but I figure eating a container a day, and in a week, that pretty much probably cleans most of the toxins out of my body. Got wild blackberry right here. Pretty peaceful out here today. I barely hear the traffic. That's really nice. Oh, I just did tea all over the place, shaking the bag, holding the bottle at the same time. I don't think I have anything to set my tea bottle on. Nope, it'll sit there. Nope, that was a mistake. We just lost half our tea. Oh well. There's a stable spot. Nowhere. There are no stable spots. So the tree and the plants here just got tea. I got more back at the house, no problem. It's really weird. Twitch says I'm streaming, and the stream element start stream button is lit as start, not stop. But something happens and this app gets confused. I tend to trust Twitch. Oh, I wanted to look through the phone developer options. Now, I would think I could screen save because I can switch over to other apps. It says I've been up for 23 minutes again. Is there anybody out there? Just nod if you can hear me. There's actually a nod command. Exclamation point nod. I figure I like to say that because I don't know if anybody's lurking and just half listening. You can actually nod. So I want to add a T command and maybe a cliche command. You can actually make like a random saying. You can pick a couple different things. Some of my watermelon. Wow. Oh, that's actually, the wind is blowing the tree. It just wobbled it. I saw that. It might be wobbling the whole time. I don't know. No, because I'm holding it steady now. I don't know what it's doing. It might have a little bit of wobble. It's just hanging in a tree. Just me out in the forest. Doing forest stuff. Sitting in the shade with the sunlight in the leaves in the distance is so beautiful. It's kind of a two-tone green. I don't know, I'm getting my hands dirty with listening, and I gotta do phone now. Phone things. You know, I could probably run a search online and find what I want faster.
Good idea. We'll do that. Right here, the temperature feels perfect. I'll put you on the front camera so you're not smushed into me. Oh, I got my lanyard. Put this back. I think break's pretty much over. It's weird that it swipes orientation back. Developer mode. Developer options. It's got stay awake. I don't want that. Oh, charging. I unplugged the cable again. It's down to 46%. Battery runs down fast, but this thing can charge it up. Quick settings, developer tiles. Trust agents only extend on lock. USB debugging. There's so much in here. Uh-oh. Sneeze time. That came on quick. Feature flags. System tracing. Wi-Fi scan throttling. That's a good idea. That's on. Bluetooth, 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 taps. Surface updates. Show layout bounds. Force, window. Wait, can you search this? It's not searchable. Figures. The regular options are... Oh, no, wait. There's a little search icon up here. Let's search for heat. Heating. You're searching? No matches found. Huh. Alright. Let's go to the web. Internet. Bug, get off my phone. A little aphid on my phone. Okay, we need a search engine. New tab. DuckDuckGo. Galaxy. Turn off overheat shutdown. You might not be able to turn this off. Refreshing the system cache. Huh. Oh, wow, you got to do some complicated thing. Oh, this isn't happening right now. It doesn't say anything about turning it off. Android phones are not dedicated cameras. Mine are. Yeah, there's no way to turn it off. Well, no solutions there. We still live? I'm about to start up again here. What? 12:29. 15-minute break. I will check Twitch. I'm wondering. I'm just gonna try it because it's. Oh, it did something weird. Get off of that. Let's see if I still got my orientation. I'm just gonna try it and see what it does. It loses orientation when I screensaver. That's not cool. I wonder why it does that. It drops the chat. Now, I'm not sure if it lost orientation or not. There, it's correct. I don't know if it actually reorients the stream transmit. Okay, let's check Twitch and see if it says I'm live. It says I'm live. Twitch, though, the app doesn't keep the chat room active. It's kind of weird. The live thing, though, doesn't give me my current live. There it is. Current live. There it is. Current live. Replication. Okay, we're live. All right. I am going to go here. Apparently, they like to claim that these phones weren't made for this. Well, hey. I'm doing it with this. Got an eCam there. Well, I lost a good portion of tissue cam. I lost a good portion of my T. The break was good, 15-minute break. Phone got a break. You got bucket cam? Yeah, my bucket's full of dirt. Hey, but I got this. Most important thing is to put the berry containers down in here. I got the water. I'm going to take some water. Yep, oh man, it's full of ants. Wow, check this. I'm not picking ants. One of them went down in there. They'll go after the honey container too if they find it. They can smell that puppy. So, I know that I have some British heritage from my mom's ancestor research, but a water bottle and tea, and I make sure I immediately have access to the tea, not the water. Okay. As I stated, it's easier to hike up the hill here, I think. It's a hike around, but that'll take like 5 minutes. Poking through here takes a while. The phone's cooled off and on the battery. I might be able to poke through here and let's see. If I had an easy way to get through this one spot,
where I gotta duck under this arch. That's the hardest thing. I think I actually go through up the hill here, don't I? Because if I hike around, that's a while away from the berry patch. And I'm kind of in the shade right here. And this is where I lost my stick yesterday. I set it down over here. It fell into this, and I didn't remember to pick it up. I moved on, and I looked around, and it was gone. And if I had looked around right away, I'd have probably spotted it, but I waited a while. That was the trick. Oh. Yeah, that happens. Pokes in, you pull it out. Little Jagger. I could name him Mick if I wanted to. That's one of my bad puns. Yep, that's what I'm going to try today, is hang the phone in the cool shade and let it transmit until it dies. I was kind of hoping to have the whole thing filmed in one shot. And one thing, if Droid Cam worked right, and I could use the microphone, I might try that from the main system. And if it goes down, the main system's just filming nothing, a disconnect screen. This is probably better, because I would still be broadcasting. Yeah, I decided not to hike around. I realized there's some big berries here to pick still. And I'll be partially in the shade picking them right here. And then when I get out into the heat, I'll see how many berries there are to pick. I might hang the phone here and then move it over to the main area. I might just head straight to the main area. So what I suspected about filming heats it up some. That's why it goes into the overheat condition, because it feels really pleasant to me right now. This is, oh, I'm in a crabapple tree or crab pear. Pear trees have crabapple type spikes too, some of the wild ones. This looks like it could be either. Actually, it looks like a pear. They don't get fruit on them too often, and it's not edible. We had a couple trees grow up from the seeds that were a grafted tree, and you couldn't eat the pears. They were these hard little knobs, exactly like a pear version of a crab apple. Oh wow, I'm picking a berry that I can't tell how it's growing that way. It got wrapped around somehow. I'm leaning over to pick a ways away. Those are some nice things I'm getting up into. Oh wow, there's actually stuff in my way that's rather violent. Spiky stuff in my way. There's a nice one down here. You're picking, you really got to look all around, because the stuff grows in odd places, close to the ground, high up in the air, sometimes in a tree. It's not always right in front of you, right in front of your camera level here. It grows all over. And there's even some back along there in the shade that I might want to go grab. There's some down in here I want that I think I can actually just step through here. You gotta watch just stepping through. Sometimes you're stepping on new growth. You want the new growth of berries. And my nose is dripping now. I got some pollen in it. It's bugging it. I might have a sneeze. I'm checking to see. I don't think I have chat on. I don't know when I turned it off. Nope. It says I'm still up. Just filming out here is just chancy. Just like being out here. I said on one of my... I think I was just hiking. I wasn't even picking berries. And I was doing my hiking philosophy, and I said, don't trust completely on your technology. And 5 minutes later, my phone was dead from overheat. That I didn't even know it could overheat. That's the first time it happened. It was just like, here, what you just said, here's prophecy for it. And I'm down to one napkin to cleanse my nose. Oh, I don't know how that happened. I might have lost one. I got to clear it out. Well, it's going to be an interesting pick as I crank back up here. Sometimes you take a break and you start back up, it seems really slow. And I know it's not really going to kick up until I get into the main patch up there, which is why I was thinking about hiking around, because as soon as I hit that, it's just going to be like pick, 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 pick. And right here, it's just like pick a little bit here, pick a little bit there. Oh, there's a couple berries over there. But you kind of got to pick them all. Like Pokemon. Everybody Pokemon. I love Weird Al. He's one of my favorite performers, musical performers, and just what he does takes such genius. I mean, it's hard enough writing the song in the first place, but basically to rewrite it and make it work as a piece of parody. I've written some parody fan fiction before, and it's kind of uber hard to keep it going. It's really hard to take something that, like, if it's something I came up with, it's a little easier because I can make it anything I want. But to take something that's already got rules and already got an established setting and try to imagine more, that's even harder. Because you don't know what was in the original imaginer's mind. You only have your knowledge of it, so... Like, I could probably write Star Trek fan fiction, because, especially the original series, because I'm pretty knowledgeable. And I know what would feel right. There's a good bit of berries right here that I'm picking now. Off to the side. I got my bucket. I got my... we got to get under this little area here, but I want to... Before I step through this, I kind of want to pick all these berries so none of them are knocked loose. These have pretty good grabs still. After a while, they start to get, the ones that are turning really dark purple start to get loose. And that's, you might see I pick from underneath when I pick. So that if they let go, they're letting go into my hand. Of course, you can't always get it that way. You don't always get it that way. Sometimes when they're growing straight up, you kind of just have to pick them from the top. But I'm clearing all these out because I got to bump under this. I'm not actually sure if I freed this up, because it's coming from over here. It's hard to get under this. It catches my shirt and traps me. It's possible that I could actually cut. See, it might have went down into the ground, and I could cut it and move it over, because I think it rooted, and the roots are what you want. You want the berries, you want the roots, and you want the new plants. So what I'm going to do is stick my stick on the other side, so I already have it. I'm going to grab my bucket, and I'm going to try to lurch under this. You get boot cam for a little bit, or bucket cam, because I got to lean down. Alright, we're through that one. And not bash into the others that are growing right here. This is a nice area because it's where these really big juicy berries grow. It's actually worth it to stay and pick, although I'm getting back out into the heat now. So if I'm going to pick a lot of this, I'm going over there where there's shade and hang the phone. And I'll just mumble to myself while you watch me from afar. I think I only have lurkers today. I haven't seen anybody in chat. I can see that the phone is still on. I'm trying to... Oh, it jumped the shark. It's already getting warm. It jumped the... It jumped out of the thing. I'm looking around. I picked down there. I like to pick as completely as I can, because if you leave a lot laying around, the animals get the idea they can come in. And birds can come in and eat a lot of berries. There's some berry bushes in the yard, if they start eating them, berries hardly get to grow. I got a duck under this one too. I need to find a better way around here into that. I can actually do it from down the hill, but I don't think I have any way to get back down the hill. And I'm not sure where I stepped through here. If it was here. And I'm going to pick a couple berries before I step over. I'm going to put the stick over there in a corner. And then we're going to do the ducky stumble. I'm bopping that, I'm bopping that. There's no real convenient way to stumble through right here. I'm not actually sure how I got into this. I think I went through right here before. Well, I can drop the bucket because there's new berries all over the place here. No matter where I go through, I'm bopping a couple. This is dead. I think I might be able to cut this one off because it has no berries on it. It has oh no, it has pods at that end. Okay. Well, time to stop and stumble through. I see somebody. Hedge Wizard, hello. You lurking. Well, welcome. I'm out berry picking. I see Quake something. I cannot honestly read the chat in the light. Ah, cool. Yeah, that's what I do at night. At night I edit Quake maps. In the afternoon I play vintage games and other stuff. In the morning I go and pick berries. Well, right now. And I'm trying to stumble through a hole here. Berry picking only lasts about 3 or 4 weeks out of the year. And I streamed one of them and somebody's like, oh, that's really awesome that you do that. So now I'm streaming as many as I can. But I have the issue that my phone will overheat if I keep it out here in the sunlight pretty quickly. It's already dropped me out once today. So my idea was to go and hang it over here in the shade. But first, I'm not coming back to this corner, so I'm picking these berries. I've already got 2 containers for about an hour and a half. And I took a 15-minute break. And my plan is to go up the hill a little bit. There's a big patch that's part of this area. And I'm going to go up there, hang the phone in the shade, and just pick like crazy for 2 hours. To about 2:15 and see how many containers I have. Although there's a good bit right here. And if I have 7 or 8 at 2:15, I think I'm going back. This area grows these really, really big berries, and I can't even tell. They're bigger than the regular berries. So I like to come and pick these. And there's this cool sounding bird flying around. I'm not sure what that one is. I know what it isn't. But I don't know what it is. I'm just out here picking berries and philosophizing a little bit. It actually feels fairly comfortable to me, but with the phone on continuous filming, and I tried screen saving it, and I don't trust what it does to the software. I don't know if it keeps the orientation or not. That's pretty good there. This is a dicey area to step through because I'm stepping over all the new vines. And everything I touch seems to bop one of them. And you bop them too much and they don't work anymore. They don't actually grow. So, I'm going to do it this way. I'll be visible, but away from, I can't chat anyways. visible, but away from the chat and away from the mic. Let me see if I can read. It is a good life. I will agree with you there. I enjoy it very much. I think it's really a blessing to be able to come out here to gather what's provided naturally, like we used to do. It's not easy, but these things taste really good. They're one of the best tastes I've ever found. And this is the part where you realize you left the string hanging over there in the tree. Now, I also have a backup, and the phone feels very hot. So I'm going to see how the backup works. I'm going to do it where I can. This was my idea, was to put this in the... Oh, that'll work. I just have to get it in here somewhere where I can actually hang it in the shade to watch me. Yeah, well, I say it'll work. This is a pretty thick tree area here. Let's see what happens when I do this. And then over there, well, the tree's not cooperating. The jungle, it don't always want to cooperate with you. And it needs its battery pack too, or it'll die. I know it's swung away. I'm glad I brought the 6-foot wire. I was thinking about getting one of the 3-foot wires. Charging stock. Start charging. You need to charge. Oh well, it might die suddenly. I don't know what my level's at, but it could die. It's plugged into the charger, but it doesn't want to do charging. So let me see if I can point it at... it's in the shade now. It's really weird to plug in the charging cable and have it tell you charging stopped. Like, thanks. What's the point? Okay. Nominally pointed at my berry picking area and myself. Nominally. Let's see if I can get a better point. I'll be out here picking berries. Hopefully it doesn't die off. I could talk a little bit. Oh, I found my other napkin, yes. Maybe it'll cool off there and start working right. I see a lot of berries here to pick. I shall be about that. Leave my stick and bucket here so I don't lose them. So if it dies, I'll be back on in the afternoon to do my normal thing. It could very well die. Debating mumbling to myself because I do anyways. I gotta go pick these that are up here. I know I'm going out of the can though. There's some up here to pick that are pretty good. I got these big berries up here. I gotta come pick them because they fill the container up really quick. I know that that phone's mic can pick up my voice over here. It just sounds a little bit muddled. My neighbor up the hill, I'll be doing nature cam and he'll yell out. And I know it can hear him perfectly well. Wow, there's a lot of big berries up here. Well, I'll come check on it in a minute or two. Might be worth it to invest in some other kind of... I have a regular film camera, but I can't live stream it. That's the thing. The phone has the ability to live stream. The regular camera, the Q8 Zoom, can't live stream without other hardware. And I suspect the GoPro might be the same. They're kind of pricey. I don't know if there's any of them that can live stream. And then I'd need the cell data connected to it somehow. I guess I could do tethering. Yeah, that's a thought. I could do tethering. Just let the phone not do the filming. I wonder if I could just plug a regular camera into it and use that. That sounds too complicated. I like just bringing the phone, firing up Stream Elements or Twitch and streaming. Well, one thing about being slightly off camera, if I do something silly like stumble over a vine and fall, you won't see me. You'll hear it. You won't see it. I got a berry vine down here. When they get pushed down to the ground, they usually don't do as good. A deer's been in here and smashed it down. I can see where some animal stumbled through. And I'm not talking towards the mic, so that muddies it. But I got a pick. I got a pick. Come out to pick berries. It's actually easier not having the phone on here. Come out to pick berries, I got a pick. Where this deer went in and stumbled through is actually a good place to go in. I'll come back in a little bit and see if it's still recording. I'm about to go down the hill once I'm done here. It's like I said, I like to pick thoroughly. I think this afternoon I might play some deathmatch against some quake bots. If I want to play on the Weenieville King Keep server again, I got to choke up my skills. It's got some options that are more challenging to deal with than I realized. One thing when you're picking, you want to look around a good bit, because they hide down on the ground and under leaves, and they hide under their own leaves. You got wild grapevine, they really hide behind those. And you'll go to a different area and look through and see different stuff. Sometimes you only got one chance to look. Sometimes you only get one look. So you got to make it the best you can. And I got some up the hill I can't get to from here. I don't think I can get in and pick those. Yet. Yet, he says, as he stumbles across another vine. I got some right here I can get. Well, I just started and I'm halfway to a container already. That's good. This is a good picking area. I like this area. It's got about 3 or 4 big patches. Like this is one. And picks out really well. When I come in here, I know I'm going to get many containers. I don't know how many, but I know I'm going to get many. It grew up in this little fledgling tree here, and it's got some that are up high. I dropped one. I may not find it. Well, it's time to get out of here. I'm still here. You're still here. You are. Wow. Stream Elements says it's transmitting for an hour. Is the phone charging? Let's find out. Did it cool off enough? Nope, it hasn't cooled off enough. So the battery could die. It's at 30% and it won't charge. Which is silly. It's really something when your own phone refuses to work the way it always works when you're in the studio. Because I use this thing in the studio as a droid cam for hours on end, and it works fine. It's just being out here in the heat and the wild. The wild is a harsh place for technology. It's really interesting. We have all this high-tech stuff, but our best equipment for dealing with the wild is our own body. That kind of blows your mind a little bit when you think of it. I've already got the best tool, and it's my own flesh. So you think about it, it's well adapted. It's easily adjustable. It handles the heat and the cold. It's capable of refueling and watering from the environment if the resources are available. You think about where most of our food comes from. Our food doesn't come from a grocery store. It comes from farms. It comes from ranches. It comes from the natural environment that we've sort of conquered, but really we just share. We just share it with the animals, and they help us survive. They were kind of provided for that. One of the I'm picking berries here from the green dog. One of the debates, I don't know how good this sounds since I'm over here. But one of the debates I find fascinating is the protect the animals debate. And it's like, how far are you going to go towards your own self-destruction and protecting the animals? Can we save and protect animal lives at the sacrifice of our own? Is it worth it to just lay down our own necessity to eat and live? For them to eat and live? Where do we draw that line? I certainly think they should be treated humanely. If we have to use them as a food source, they shouldn't be tormented for it. There's a lot of humans living on this planet. At what point do we decide that we deny ourselves food source just to answer this philosophy of animal welfare? Well, we don't even take care of our own welfare all that good. How many people are homeless or starving right now? And what can we do besides pray for them? A lot of us don't have the material resources to see to their needs. And there are people that have the material resources to see to their needs. And why nothing happens? And then we have the recent events occur, and people come out and sing a song of, well, we'll help out, we're here with you. But what are they really doing? The ones that actually have the resources to do something for everybody. Not just recent events, but everything that's been happening for a long time. What are they doing? When do they decide the sacrifice of their material wealth so that everybody can be seen to, their needs, their food, their shelter, their medical care? When do we as a group, a society, a species decide we don't need the material wealth as much as we need to love and take care of each other? How long? How long does it take? How many centuries? How many millennia? How long until we set down every weapon of warcraft and say we don't need these things at all for anything? There's no point. That'll be a day when it comes. And I believe that day will come. There's a lot of berries up behind the camera hidden in a patch of blackberries that I'm carefully picking because it wants to claw me up. And I mean a lot. There might be a quarter of a container up here, the big ones. Big ones fill up the container fast. I like the big ones. Yeah, we switched back to berry picking philosophy now. I found more good berries. I gotta dodge the blackberries around them.
That's kind of tricky. I can cut some of them out. They're biters. They got bigger claws, bigger thorns on them. Sometimes you cut a thing and a vine keeps it from going anywhere. Multiple vines. Well, the nice thing is when the blackberries are young, they don't hurt me as much. The claws don't bite as hard. I know one thing, you cut them and they grow like a weed, they just make more things. You don't cut them down to the ground. You cut them down to the ground and they start growing there. Wow, these berries really go, these raspberries really go all the way up here. Anywho, welcome to the channel if you showed up to lurk or watch. I'm actually here, I'm off to the side picking berries. I've had to hang the camera in the shade because it overheats and stops working. Right now it's refusing to charge because it thinks it's too hot. And I looked into developer options and apparently you can't shut off the overheat protection. I guess there are battery issues with doing that. I would think there might be battery issues, which is why they won't allow the charge. I'm hoping it takes the charging, gets down to 30%. It's like this one I need it to charge the most. It's up 100%. It's cool. It's charging. But then I took a break and I had it unplugged for 15 minutes. And when it's doing this, it drains fast. Oh, I'm getting cut. Really sharp blackberries up here in my raspberry. The raspberry patch grew up into the blackberry patch is what happened. And they're really nice raspberries too, so I want to pick them. So I got to do that if I want them. If you want them, you have to pick them yourself. Well, you could go to the grocery store and buy some, but they never taste as good to me. Alright, I think that's clear. I think I got most of them. I'll come back down into view now. I'm going to pick down here. I was picking up there because it's up there. Yeah. I haven't had it complain about the cold yet, but then I haven't done too much live streaming in the cold. Okay, down in here. I don't know, I already got a container and a half just in that little bit up there. Okay, over here. Piles of these big berries. Gotta pick them. One of the important skills is stepping into a patch without smashing down next year's berries. And then once you're stable, you just pick everything around you can. Reach out as far as you can. Having long arms really helps. Because I can just reach over and grab stuff. There's also a certain finding skill involved with picking berries. Ability to just reach in and kind of look and feel and almost know before you even reach in if there are berries there. And having a good feel for where they're at. It sort of relates to playing arcade games where there's muscle memory involved. And a certain level of skill and muscle memory. And I don't like to have blackberries. Oh. Get out of there. I could actually just come in through there. I just realized I can actually go in through there and I don't know how visible I am. I
Go down this way and pick. I already picked over there. I'm starting to tire out myself. Hopefully, if I have 4 containers when I'm done here, I know I'll get 4 containers up the hill easily. I got 2 containers on the entry area. And get through here. I realized I can just go over here. I have a path through, and if I use it, I'm bonking out. I'm going to try to go around this way. I realized I can just go in there from the other side. I got to go over this way, though. I'll be here somewhere. Maybe not always in view, but here. Gotta pick them where I find them. Kind of hoping that the phone charges up a little bit so it doesn't just die. As it's hanging in the shade, it should be cooler. Attempt number 2, live streaming berries in the heat. And Saturday was a cool day. I could have probably done the whole thing, but it was my day off. I don't stream on my day off. Not even for the convenience of a cool day. Funny thing is, the heat just isn't bothering me at all. It feels perfectly pleasant in here. Well, it might be because I'm used to it at this point. I've been running in it for a couple of weeks now, maybe a month. It actually got hot back in May after the freeze. It heated way up. We had summertime heat. Blackberries just grow like crazy. If the raspberries grew like the blackberry, I could just come out here and pick and pick and pick, and it wouldn't end. I'm going to see in July how the blackberries do, because they're all over the place this year. I am going to stream. I might not be streaming much of that because it'll be even hotter. This feels pleasant. That'll be hot. I might be coming back into view here as I kind of explore. This area changes every season, so it's not always the same. A couple seasons ago, I'm not in view yet, I'm close. A couple seasons ago, there was a clear path through here, and the bushes were down low to the ground. And I cleared out some wild grapevine and rose bush, and some of the blackberry, and it just exploded. The raspberries just boomed. And now they are just all over. Crazy, crazy, pick a ton. But that's good. The first season I came out, there wasn't a lot. And it might have just been the cycle, but I came out, I picked about 4.5 hours one time, and there was nothing left to pick that I could get to. I picked everything. Now I can come out here and pick for 7 hours. 3 years ago, I did 7 hours one day. It's a little too intense. And there was still stuff to pick. So, I am truly blessed with a great bounty of raspberries to pick. I'm coming back around. I think I'll get back into the frame. I'm sort of there. I just got to work my way around. I'm sort of stuck as well. Ooh, I turned back around and found some berries on this. And a sharp scent. One thing I'm looking at, a little jungle over here. I might move the camera, I might not. Can't see where the berry picks are. Oh yeah, I got lots of berries over here to pick. You're kind of on nature cam while I'm over here. I don't know how well you can hear me, but I'm here. This is where it would be nice to have a mod or a partner to talk and shout out. Fox, go to it. Fox bought out for me. Who bought stuff? I've actually got them set to be pretty quiet if nobody's talking in the chat. Otherwise, they just clutter it up. They wait for so many messages, so if you're lurking, there won't be too many messages to strike up the bot. I think their minimum is they have to have 5 messages to say any of their automated timed announcements. I got a lot of berries over here though. A lot of berry pick. I might have another container complete from over here. 4 days ago when I was in this area, I didn't pick much over here, so they ripened up good. I got all them right. You gotta pick like in a kind of a wave, a cycle. I'll go on top of the hill and pick, and then I'll come over here 2 days later, and then I'll go back up there until they're picked out. Some of it's just reaching over all of this and finding all the berries. This is a pretty heavy hedge. And I want to reach as far as I can because I'm going to come around the other side. And there may be some like 3-4 feet in the middle I can't get to it. Or I might see something from here and go over there and I won't be able to see it. It won't be visible. Picky, that's all I'm doing. Finding the berries, picking the berries, put the berries in the catcher, put the berries in the container, wash the berries, freeze the berries, eat the berries. I put that on Hiker. I put that on his. I got a bug in my berry container. Get out of there, little bug. You a bee? Don't be caught in there. No good place for bugs. I should put a timer with an AFK announce on my berry picking. T-bone. I gotta get back there and check the camera now. Take this line here. It's a winding way back there, and it's not easy. I can't just step past. I'm within 8 feet of the camera, but I can't get to it. Between me and it's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm here if you tuned in. You're lurking. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm about 8 feet away picking berries. I can't carry the camera because it overheats in the sun. It drops out of it. It may have died. It might be bothering myself. Happens. Happens for the best. There's a lot over here to pick too. Let's see if I can, well, more to bit, I'll be back. More to bit. Yeah, I'm down here somewhere. You can't see me now. I might actually be in camera range, but I'm behind a wall of green. I'm all the way back. I was down here to start. Down here, I don't even know where the camera is anymore. I know it's in there somewhere. I'm waving at it, I can't see it. I'm on the other side of the green wall you're looking at, picking berries. If you're lurking, I'm here. I'm here. Somewhere. Somewhere in the berry patch, picking goofy big berries. Almost done in this area, and I'm going to go out to the other area for a little bit. Tomorrow might have to be one of those days where I do 2 different, tomorrow. 2 days. Tomorrow's a run day. Wednesday might have to be a day when I go to 2 different patches. Because I think I'm going to have some left here. And then I'm going to go up on top of the hill. That's the harder way. But I'd want to finish this area because I might not even have to go up there. This is a bountiful area. I think it's got more than on top of the hill now. I smell a walnut tree nearby. A deer or a human went in here and tromped on things. Could have been me. I like to say deer, and then I realized I was picking in here. It might have been me that did that. I'm going a different way now. I'm slowly making my way back around. I know the camera's there somewhere, but I can't see it. I know you're there. I'm here.
I don't know how well you can hear me blab. I should just let you listen to the bird song a little bit. I'm still around picking berries. I'm away from the camera, away from the mic, away from the keyboard, away from everything. AFE. Spice bush down here smells great. I'm bumping up against it. Lunch is going to be good today. My afternoon stream, I'm going to relax. It's going to be awesome. Play me some bot death match. I am buku picking down here. There's a lot of berries. This area is another where the vines just kick it up big time. Big time vines. Big time. Is that a Peter Gabriel song, the Big Time? Part of one of his songs? Just sounds familiar in my 80s storehouse in my brain where I keep all the trivia and all the stuff. I don't have easy access to it anymore. Alright, I'm coming back somehow. This isn't the way. This is a trap, that's a trap. Well, trapped. I gotta get through a jump area. It's where you gotta jump over a living vine that you want to keep. And you get caught sometimes with stuff. Wow, I can't get through here at all. I'm free, I'm good. God help me out.
Okay. Let's go see if the camera's still on. I know it's in there because I didn't want to bump that. There's the Dr. Livingston, we presume. Are we actually charging? Oh, that's the camera. 10%. It's not charging. Well, I think I have this convenience. It's charging. It cooled off enough. Okay. We're going to go over to the new area. I want to see what I just want to see how far I can push this thing. Basically. I'm just going to slip this out. Oops. Yep. It might stop charging while I move. I'm going out into the heat. Okay. Putting you back in the rig for a little bit. We're going to go. Best way to carry the camera. We're going up the hill. I'm pretty much calling it done here and going up to the next area. I really should check the time while I can see it. 1:30. I got about an hour left. Let's see what I can do up here. I think I might call it in a half an hour. I got 2 containers here. That's 4 containers. 6 containers is acceptable. My mom will be happy. The only thing is, I don't really know where I'm going to hang you to watch my berry picking. Because I could start right here, but there's no shade down here. And up the hill, I got shade. That's pretty nice. So I think that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I remember how I get up here. I don't want the camera out in the heat too long. It'll stop charging, and it's at 10%. It needs to charge. Through here. There's a tree up here. I'm going to be picking right here. This tree here, I think I can hang the camera in. And there's buku pick in this area. I might have to come back out here in 2 days and finish, because I'm not going to be able to pick this whole area in an hour. Okay. Switch of the camera. Scoop of the stuff. Oh, that goes down into there. You're in the heat. Hiker! I have a real challenge, hiker. My technology's not up to this. The camera's overheating because I'm filming continuously with it. And it's only about 78 out here. So I've been hanging it in the shade in front of these nice berries. Look at this. Look at all those berries. I have to pick all this. I've been hanging the camera like in a tree in the shade in hopes that it'll actually charge one. Because it really is overheating. 10% it's charging. And I lost my one rig, so I'm making another. I'm MacGyvering one. I'm not sure where this one isn't. I'm going to try to do this. One thing that I've discovered, it doesn't like to cooperate. It doesn't like to cooperate. So this is the rough area I'm going to be. Yeah, I'm wondering if I can bring like an ice pack and put it on the phone to keep it cool. But I can't add too much equipment to this because I'm already at a point where I've got like buku stuff. If I pick right here, there's just a shit ton of berries. I'm trying to figure out in 2 days if I should come back here or go up the hill because there's so many berries here. I don't think I'm going to pick all of these today. I was going to do about another hour. And in that hour I can probably pick 3 containers. Because I'm sitting at about 4 right now. And 7 would be reasonable. I'll give me a container and a half to eat and 5 and a half to freeze. We'll call that good. I've already got
8.5 frozen. My goal is to freeze about 30. I have some from last year. I try to eat a container a week. And for some reason, the phone charging cable is what's controlling where this points right now. It's there, go that way. Can I put you up in the tree too? Everything's in a tree. Going back old school. Going back to the good book. All this stuff's up in a tree somewhere. Come that way. I'm wondering if I can do this. It's charging. We'll call that good. It didn't complain about being overheated. So I guess hanging in the shade for today is working. And I feel warm but not overheated. I think the overheat's just oh, we're gone. We let loose. The overheat's just my electronics. Okay, you are going on here. This is real in the field MacGyver in here. Oh, if I had another camera just to take a picture of this. Okay, we're going to pick all these right here because there's a ton. There is probably, and these berries, I'll pick a few of them and then show you. These are some of the biggest berries I get in the camera that I've found back here. It's not focusing very good. I don't want to lose berries. These are big berries. And they're just, I showed you the bush here. There are a ton of them. I pick here for a half hour. I'll have a container and a half, I think. And they're everywhere. I'll have to check some of the stuff on the way out. I think in 2 days I'll come here, and if I pick this out, I'll go back up on top of the hill. And if this picks good in 2 days, then I'll have on top of the hill in 4 days. Got to pick in a kind of a cycle. Gives them time to ripen up. It's getting to the point though where the vines have so many berries and there's so many of them I can't pick them all. I can't even come close to like 90%. I'm picking like 70-80% because I just can't get to all the stuff. There's whole berry patches I won't get out to just because there's so many here. I pick here because it's where the best picking is. That's good though. Consider that a blessing. I'm actually going to have to pause, I think, and load containers. This is starting to get kind of heavy. Half full is, let's see, I think this thing held 5 containers or 6. Full is 6 containers, so half full is 3 containers. Kitano, hey. Hey, thank you for the host. Awesome. Yeah, maybe. A heat sink, that's an idea, because I could slip something into the phone case maybe even. That's one of the reasons I have a protective case, because I drop it. Especially being out here, it needs a protective case, but that also holds heat in. That's one of the things I was thinking about. Yeah, we'll come up with something. Because July, the blackberry picking, it's going to be up in the 80s, the upper 80s, maybe. We'd expect that. It might not be. It might cool off for all we know. But that's the expected, is it's going to be hotter in a month. I might just try bringing a, we've got these little cold packs that are about yay big. I might bring one of those and just fit it into the rig and rubber band it to the phone and see how it does. That's something I'm thinking about right now, is just to see if I can do the cooler pack.
I've got berries to pick over here. I don't think I can jump this way. There's berries behind the camera, but I'm not sure I can jump that. It's a real Dr. Livingston, I presume, moment for sure. I'm here on the other side of the wall, the green. Picking's just as good though. And for all the traffic the mic picks up, I think it could pick up my voice pretty good just close by. It almost seems like it's designed to pick up traffic noises. Picky, picky, picky. I need a picky song like Diggy, Diggy Hole, Picky, Picky Berry. Maybe Yogscast will write me one. They came up with Diggy, Diggy Hole. I need Picky, Picky Berry. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm actually running through song lyrics in my head. Thank you for stopping by the way. He says from the other side of the wall of green. As he makes sure the phone's actually still transmitting. Oh, one fell off because they're getting loose. At some point I'll be out of view. Deer have been in here. I see a deer bed. There's that, and a deer stomping down. I don't know if you can. Look out, see him over there. Well, I mean, include it. Picky, picky berry, they can sell me that. Maybe because I already know Diggy Diggy Hole. Picky, picky.
dumping my berries down the hill. Still here, I'm down the hill. I came down to dump my berry bucket and I'm picking some berries down here. About 10 feet away. You might be able to see me, you might not. I'm here. I have lurked from my own stream. Lurking away from my own stream. No raids or anything? Oh, you made me a song. I'm a what? A hobbit? A guy? A 6.
You can't tell. I emptied it. I got 3 containers out of it, and I'm going to start here again. If I get 2 more containers, I think I'm going back. I'm impressed that it's still cranking. How am I doing? 150. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 more containers and head back. I think I'll have 7. I should be able to freeze 5.5 of them. Well, around this way. I am here. Plenty of berries. Trapped, tripped and trapped. This patch just goes crazy in here once it starts ripening. I think this will be 2 days of picking this time. It's kind of got me. A drone rig that keeps the camera cool and points it at me. A drone cameraman. Oh yeah, I can just put it back on the hickey. It's nice when you can reach out and just grab 4 or 5 berries in a second off of one pod and throw them in the bucket. Once you practiced up a bit. Yeah, I'm just reaching out and grabbing 2 and 3 and 4 at a time. Pretty nice. I don't know if I'm visible. I'm close by. I'm on the other side of this bush I showed you. Picky berry. We say a prayer for them when they go off to do their duty.
Dudes need how much I can get some to come back and pick. It's interesting to look from the other side and see berries you didn't pick because you just didn't see them when you looked the first time on that side. Let us see, we still here, we are. Cool. I'm hoping to encourage some of the pasty people that just sit at their computers and stream to actually come out and get some of the bronze color. I realized I actually have a bunch right here I can pick that I can't reach from that side because they're here. And I didn't finish picking. I realize that physically this is probably my healthiest time of the year. One of the big things is actually eating an entire container of these every day. I figure it pretty much cleans out my whole system of like all the bad effects, the little bit that I accumulate through the winter. It probably cleanses all that right out. I don't know if I can, there's a whole pile of them there. I wonder if I can reach them from behind. Pokey stick. What are you poking me with? Oh, these are blackberries. Hey, I don't need you here. Let's see what we have. Get you out of there. Yeah. I can actually go through here, I think. There was just a bunch of blackberries. Pretending to be raspberries. I pointed it that way because I want to go pick over there. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I got some stuff right up in there I want to get. But I got a bunch over here. It's okay to go back and forth. I'm right here. Now I'm going to pick this area. I can get some of this. I can reach over and grab some of these. There's some of them I can't reach from here. Even with long arms, I can only reach so far. Oh, they're just big juicy ones. I'll easy have 2 more containers by 2:15 or so. I kind of want to be back at 2:30. They haven't quite hit their peak yet, so I have a few more days of picking. Maybe 6. Maybe 8. I might be able to get 8 days of picking. I've already done 1, 4, and 8, 3 days. I don't know if I count that. I don't count that 1 container in the main picking run though, because stuff was barely ripe. I just went around and grabbed enough of it. I like this picking from below, so you know, because a few of them have already fallen off. They're getting so ripe. They get overripe and they'll fall off. And it's nice when they fall into your hand. Yeah, that's a nice one there. You don't really have to worry too much about damaging the old vines because they're going to die in August and September anyways. Definitely in the winter. Rarely do they survive, and if they do, they don't make many berries. We are still transmitting. We're still live picking berries. If you're lurking, welcome to the channel. It's a beautiful day. It feels like it's about 80 degrees now. Well, there's a cool breeze. It might actually be over 80 on the porch temp. Porch temp is interesting. In the morning it's cooler. Got pollen. It's cooler in the morning, and in the heat of the day it seems like it's hotter than what it actually feels like. But then feeling is subjective. I prefer the felt temperature to the thermometer. Because the thermometer is just a number, it doesn't really tell you anything. It gives you an idea what it might feel like, but you can actually go outside and just feel it, and then you know. To me, this level with this cool breeze, there's a little breeze coming by. It feels very comfortable. This is the day that I like to remember for 6 months from now when I'm running in the ice and snow. I want to remember this day right here, this feeling of flushed with warm heat from the sun picking berries. Just uber pleasant, hanging out with some of my friends. You guys watch, I pick the berries. And just this good warm feeling, not too hot, not too cold. The phone might be overheated, but this cool breeze reminds me of like an ice cream. Or an icy, oh, it reminds me of a Slurpee. This is a beautiful cool breeze. Slurpee and berries. I'm not sure where the 7-Eleven is in town to actually be able to go and get a Slurpee. And it's a beautiful top-down day for the Jeep, too. But then we can't have everything yet. We gotta wait. We only get so much while we're here. Berry, I am a big hobbit. I'm a giant hobbit, and I'm picking a berry. Yeah, I'm singing your Picky Picky Berry song. I changed it to the giant hobbit now. I'm not a small human or a very large hobbit. We got all the birds singing to us. Got a bird choir. Kind of checking back. I'm half expecting a raid for somewhere while I'm standing over here, and I can't even hear it. I think I have notifications on the phone turned down to buzz, so I probably won't hear it. I should have turned those back on. I can get into here, I think. Let's see what else I can pick here. I'm sitting about a container and a half. I always spot a few looking underneath. They grow down in here. Here's a whole, I just found 6 berries looking down there. Oh, hey, and there's one over here I missed. There's one back there. That's 7 more berries just for looking down. Refuel. Gotta refuel. Oh my God, they're so good. That's one thing that's challenging, is just sit here and pick and not eat. Because they taste so good when they're right here on the vine. Keep finding more. There's one down there that's apart. A couple more up on top here I didn't get. I look for the black shiny. I see the shiny part and I know there's some to pick. Yeah, well. This guy got a little mangled. He's not gonna do anything. There's plenty though. Okay, let us see how we're doing here. Still on. Oh, that way. It's actually up 16%. Bottled Coke, ooh, you know, I got some of the real sugar Coke, and it's in the basement waiting for me where it's nice and cool. Yeah, Florida hot hikes in the summertime for sure. Well, I think I got another 2 containers here. I'm gonna pick a little bit more. Can I point the bunk at that? I want to pick those right there. I don't know if I can get to them.
stepping through over here and I find berries and I'm stuck. I got caught in a, oh, it's a berry vine. I can't cut it. I stepped in between two of them. Oh, I found a couple more stepping back. They're growing down here in the undergrowth. They are everywhere here. I could probably trip and fall and find berries in this area. Oh, we won't do that today. Not here anyway. Okay. Back behind the camera. 10 berries. Maybe 15. They're big juicy ones. I'm picking them. The back edge here. Okay. I got some vines in my way, wild grapevine. Oh, there's a berry. There's a berry down here. Could I actually get this here? Let me see. Oh, I could do it that way. Blink. Turny, turny. Spinny, spinny. There we are. And it immediately points that way. I don't know. There, maybe right there. I'm right here picking. I'm working my way through these vines. They're kind of thick. Something that grows back here. It's not a berry vine. Well, this is grapevine right here. I'm just picking these last bits in the shade and I think I'm going to call it. I should have 7 containers. Of course, I haven't eaten a half a container today, so sometimes I'm out here, by the time I get back, I've eaten a half a container already. Sometimes there might be some more to pick back up that way too. I just looked up there and saw 15. Everywhere you turn around, right in this area, there's just berries all over. They spread. And once this stuff starts growing thick like this, you can't see them too easy. You got to look through it. You look through it and you find some. I'm reaching through the tree now. A little bit of a windstorm there. Windstorm 6. Tropical storm 6, but up north. They ought to really stop naming the small stuff. Not name it until it's like category 2 or 3 at least. Up until that point, it just has potential. You name these things, it's like we're giving props to them. I know I'm wobbling the tree because I'm leaning into it to pick all this stuff, but it'll wobble a little bit. There's a few berries over there to pick. Let's see. Definitely got berry picking hands. Yeah, the other hand's not as bad. The other hand's not as colored. That's at least a container. That tastes so good. It's like eating liquid sunshine or something. Something like that. I have a thought on something you said there, hiker, but I need to look at it again. Make sure I got the right gist in my mind before I open my mouth about it. Be my last bit of philosophy. I'm going to try to record the hike back too. I'm trying to get a complete berry picking hike, and it conked out in the middle the first time it overheated. But I'm encouraged the battery's charging up. That's actually pretty good. That means it's not overheated because it's letting it charge. I'm reaching up into this here crabapple tree. It looks like a crabby tree. Well, maybe not. There are actually some regular apple trees out here that get apples occasionally. Not too many. But they do. I got some hiding behind here. After a while, you kind of have like an instinct for it almost, faith. You could just reach out and know that there's berries there and pick them. Okay. Let's see if I can spinny one time. Yeah, I did that a few years ago. I was out here and I said, God, this is the hottest day. And I thought to myself, I need to remember this in the winter when it's hard to run in the cold. Don't tell cop. So is he against sodas and things like that? Anti-soda? I know I don't like high fructose corn syrup. Battery power's down. I don't like the high fructose. That stuff, when I was drinking Mountain Dew as a programmer, after a while, when the caffeine ran out, it was nap time. Yeah, I'm dunking around here. Yeah, I'm about to call it. I'm going to check back here, and then it's time to go back. So I started to avoid the high fructose. I just go for real sugar. Tastes better anyways, I think. Of course, as they say sometimes, all things in moderation, too much of anything. Did we spinny? We spun around again? We pointed this way? Robot! Oh yeah, they are. Oh, you were right, and you Coke, okay. That explains his theme branding. Okay. Well then he's definitely not anti-soda. Yeah, it's good to have a couple sodas a week. I don't want too much. But a taste every now and again is good. It's the overindulgence towards the absurd, I think, that gets people in trouble. I'm just going to have a look back here. Go out into the sun one more time. You fell over this way. I need to get through here. Open the gate. I'll pick these few back here. And we'll head back. I'm reaching through what blackberry is sharp. Gotta watch it. You can be tough. The raspberries grew into a heavy blackberry patch, and then wintertime knocked down the blackberry patch, so I can actually get in here somewhat. think we'll call it. Let us get the rig back here and head back. Okay. Does Pepsi has a real sugar product, don't they? I just know that my favorite Slurpee flavor is Coke. Pepsi did have a real sugar product. I know that at some point. Okay, let us re-gig this wire down into the... I don't know if this is the best way, but it's how I'm going. I don't feel like putting it back in my shirt. I'm keeping the charging cable with the battery pack. While it seemed like a good idea, it's starting to seem like less of a good idea. Now let's see if the phone can actually make it all the way back in the heat. It'll be nice if it does. I'll have most of a complete height. Well, it got me. But I didn't go down, so we're not counting it. Although we did whack a couple of raspberries on the way down the path. We'll pick a couple more berries, make up for it. I missed a couple. Probably got pushed open. Wow. It just damaged all this. That stumble, although it looks like something's been... Well, let's clear out these grapevines. Attempt to push these back where they go. Once you start messing with them, it don't matter much. Go like that and consider it good. Alright, let's see. We still got the phone up. I know, you see, I can't. Once I'm out in the sunlight, I can't read this. I don't know, I see a bunch of emotes. Oh, that's just Discord. Now, come on. Stream Element's still alive? It lost the chat. Chat's cleared out. Whatever it was, I didn't get to see it. I'm heading back. I'm just thinking about the easiest way to get out here. This actually isn't the easiest way. The thing is, where I'm at right now, there is no easy way out. Oh, and I got one of these bizarre raspberries that grows fresh and has a pod on it. Some of those actually ripen up in August. It's pretty cool. Because it looks like new growth. I guess it could be from root. There used to be a path here. It closed up. And I kind of like the idea of there not being a path here. But this is a quick way out. So you can look at my bottle. And I'll see if I can get through here. Because if there's no path here, then the deer aren't going to go through. And people aren't going to want to drive machinery through it either. We got some dead from last year. But this is kind of a faster way out. Actually, if I could get over through there, that actually goes out. Well, we'll call that good. Stream Elements is all confused, but that's all right. Heading back. At least I'm hoping I can go this way. I didn't open this up already. It used to be open. Oh, hey. We got some bonus berries right here. We'll grab these on the way. Two of them are going down. They fell off. Sometimes you can reach down and grab a berry. Yeah, I started working on the other side. So it's partially clear. And there's actually some berries up here. Refuel. I'm kind of stumbly. I need to refuel. Okay. Oh, I did it the other day. I came in close enough. Oh, well, that one's gone. I need a berry and I ate a leaf. Okay, push this out of the way. Get through here, and hey, I was here this morning picking. Obviously not all the way up here though, because I didn't pick these. Oh yeah, I was here. But the phone's going to do us the honor of not dying. I'm going to pick a couple. And I come back and I wonder, did these ripen up the 4 hours I was up there, or did I just miss them? Because I think they can ripen up in a few hours. But I don't know. I might have missed them. Oh, I might not have gone up in here. I don't remember stepping over that. I was right here. I don't think I went up there. This is the easy way out now. Once I got through that one little corner, the easy way back. Let me see, looks a little bouncy. This is actually the way I came in. Usually I don't do that. We're going to recontainer so I don't have to have this weight sitting here. Works out really good. Take one of these, cut a little hole. Oh, I just got shaded. It's it might cut out. It says it's still live, but it just went dark on me. But we'll grab a couple more containers here and load them up. Pick the berries, container the berries. Wash the berries, freeze the berries, eat the berries. The best ones are the ones you eat fresh. Oh. As long as you don't cut too big of a hole. Oh, wow. Yeah, I got good here. Okay. Some water. I see the Stream Elements interface, so I'm choosing to believe it's still on. Let me see if I can dump this last bit. And then you pop the cap. You dump the last couple berries through the top. And you're done. 7 containers. I'm going to call that good for today. Doesn't have to be 8 containers every time. I think we'll put this over in here. See how it does. I believe I'm still alive for the hike back. And we're off. See if the camera can make it. If it doesn't, well, that'll be my sign off the hike back. I know it's a little wonky. It's mostly going to be the field, but that's okay. Yeah, it feels pretty warm. Put that behind me. This is the trip home. I think I'm going to take the full shortcut. Usually up here I go on a path, kind of keep to the shadows, but when I've been on one of these hot, tiring ones, I can be home in like 5 minutes or so. I think all you're looking at really is field. Bouncy bouncing field. There's actually some berries over in here. Blackberry for sure. There's elderberry here. But right up here, there's actually some raspberries. I'm going to grab a couple just because I'm here. I'll leave the rest for the deer. They can eat these. Of course, I got to find them. I don't know if I'm still on. At least I got the shade even at 2:30 or whatever. I think up here under this tree I'm going to see if I can call it. I was going to go all the way back. But let's see if I can even determine if the thing's operating. Oh, it's still alive. I don't know if I can operate it. No, I don't think it's doing anything. I'm not even going to be able to shut this down, I don't think. Well, we'll crunk on back then. Crunk on back. This is also a nice time to have long legs and be tall when you're walking. You can go further. I think it's the same amount of effort because you're moving more body mass. But you move a little bit faster with a bigger pace. And you've got more muscle mass too, especially if you exercise it. I see a hawk up in the air, flying around. I think those are hawks. They could be turkey vultures. They look like hawks. There's a slightly different appearance to them. Oh, all this beautiful scenery. Out of deference to my neighbors, you're looking at a field. At least I believe it's pointing at the field. We just got flown over by one of the birds. I saw the shadow. So, notes. Next time, take a cold pack, leave it in the bucket until the phone really warms up, and just, I don't want the condensate on the phone, but I want the cold. So the back of the phone's really the best place to put it, because the cold will go through the case without taking the water. I think that's what I'm going to try. Some rubber bands. And the thing. Of course, it's showing me the interface. It might be down already. But that's the way out and the way back. I'm going to see if I can kick it down here. At the very least, I can turn off the app, I think, still, if I can control the phone. Home. Sweet home. Interface is still up, pointed at a maple tree. Hey, hey. Well, that was my berry pick. That's all behind me. I'm out for now. I'll be back on in a couple hours for the afternoon stream. Upload the video, all that. Play some games. Be seeing you.